Now, you might remember my arrest back in January outside the BBC in London after I went to film a protest that was happening, organised by David Chick. Here's a short reminder.
Hey, mate. Yeah, you're detained for a search, mate. Section 1 of PACE.
I'm detained for a search under Section 1 of PACE. Hang on. Let's get head on.
I think you know what's going on, buddy. Okay, PC Clark, Sheriff's Police Station, detained under Section 1 of PACE for items involved in criminal damage. So I tell you what, let's get away from the crew, mate. Okay, you'll be entitled to a copy of the search. Okay.
Well, I was arrested at that incident after being detained for a search under Section 1 of PACE for items relating to criminal damage. And when they found that I had nothing on me, they arrested me under conspiracy to commit criminal damage, took me to Charing Cross Police Station and held me for 24 hours before letting me go, under investigation, but not before depriving me of all my equipment. Well, it seems that police are targeting other journalists and reporters after Charlotte Lynch, a reporter for LBC, was arrested the other day for filming the morons involved in the Just Stop Oil protests. You know, the ones complaining about the climate but wanting thousands of cars to sit idling their engines on the motorway while they themselves wear clothes that have relied on oil to make them, such as their waterproofs and climbing equipment. Yeah, them fucking idiots. Charlotte spoke of how she was arrested by Hertfordshire police, handcuffed, swabbed for DNA and put in a cell for the heinous crime of covering a story at junction 21 of the M25. Charlotte said she showed police her press pass, which, although the police generally love, is nothing but a worthless piece of plastic issued by the company you work for, and not from a central issuing authority, and will therefore generally only be accepted by police if it's a global name and they've heard of it before. However, not this time. Police asked Charlotte how she knew the protest was happening, to which she told them that Just Stop Oil had posted on their social media the night before, and the fact that the Just Stop Oil morons had protested the day before at the very same junction of the M25. Facts that Hertfordshire police clearly overlooked. Now, rather than being arrested for conspiracy to commit criminal damage, Charlotte was arrested for conspiracy to commit public nuisance, which is exactly what you call it when a group of people cause a pile-up and someone gets injured, as a police motorcyclist is said to have done. Charlotte was also only held in police custody for 5 hours before being released, being told that she faced no further action. 5 hours to be told no further action and released with all of your belongings, but I was held for 24 hours, and they still have half of my stuff, including a £1,400 mobile phone. Charlotte said I'd been there for around 45 minutes before 2 male officers approached me and questioned what I was doing, as I was taking pictures and videos of the protesters. I was on a road bridge over the motorway, public area, well clear of the demonstration. I was not down on the motorway, I wasn't with the protester. I immediately showed these officers my press card and explained that I worked with LBC, which is owned by Global. The Global logo is on my press card, and I explained that I was there reporting on the protests. They questioned how I got there. I said in a car. I asked how I knew how to be there. I said Just Stop Oil would put on their social media the evening prior a warning to drivers they'd be blocking the M25 again. Now, no sooner than I said that, they mustn't have even spoken to me for 2 minutes. Handcuffs were banged onto my hands. First my left hand, and I went to grab my phone with my right hand, which was immediately snatched away, and I was arrested on suspicion of conspiracy to commit a public nuisance. Of course, my rights were read to me, so of course I kept my mouth shut. I knew that what I said could be used against me. I was searched on the side of the road. A female officer then came, searched me on the side of the road. All of my devices were taken away, and I was put in a custody van and taken to Stevenage. We do have a free and fair press in this country, and it's not the job of journalists to do the police's job for them. It's our job to hold authorities to account on behalf of your listeners, on behalf of the public. There are occasions when it is absolutely necessary to inform the police, but those lines becoming blurred is a tricky thing. Now, Hertfordshire isn't new to making false arrests of reporters, as just 1 day prior to Charlotte's arrest, Rich Felgate and photographer Tom Bowles had also been arrested taking footage of the eco-yobs on Monday. However, in that case, police even went as far as gaining a search warrant for Tom Bowles' property and turning up at his home, waking his wife and daughter. The British Press Photographers Association said it strongly condemns the arrests, adding that news gatherers should be able to operate freely without fear of arrest. Hertfordshire Police said, in line with standard policing practice, we would not name or confirm the identity of anyone who has been arrested or anyone suspected of a crime, other than in exceptional circumstances. We can confirm that 3 people who were arrested in connection with the protest activity yesterday have been released with no further action. Now, I'm not part of any such association like the National Union of Journalists or the British Press Photographers Association, as I class myself as an independent journalist, which is partly the reason why I set up the IMA, or Independent Media Alliance, which, although is currently being used to report on the child welfare cases going on in Dorset, has big plans, which I hope to start moving forward with in the new year. Now, I will of course let you know those plans in due course, but let's put it this way. Independent media outlets who the police ignore need to be part of something that the police can't ignore. And that's what I'm planning. When I was arrested, I told police I was an independent journalist. They asked for ID. I asked them why. Press IDs mean nothing other than state what company you work for or what press organisation you're with. They're worthless. To which the plod agreed. But still, I was arrested, just like Charlotte here. And why were we arrested? Did police seriously think we had something to do with the protests? Of course not. They simply wanted to show dominance, try to put other people off doing the same thing and sharing the news because it makes them look bad. To that, I say you don't need the press to make you look bad. You do a very, very good job of that all on your own. In fact, Education Secretary Gillian Keegan told LBC's Nick Ferrari, journalists shouldn't get arrested for doing their job, adding, we are defenders of free speech. With Shami Chakrabarti, a Labour peer activist and shadow Attorney General, said there are balances to be struck between the right to protest and public order, but everybody has the right to fair reporting. I am, of course, still under investigation for the filming of the BBC protest, but I will, of course, update you on that when I can.